right? Hi, everybody. Let me know if the audio is working today. So I'm sure there's nobody new here, but if you're new here or watching the replay, this is Jackie with Jackie's Jinx Journey, where I follow a low-carb lifestyle with my high-carb family in another new location, utilizing the recliners today because it's been a very lazy day.
Why are you licking me? A hot dog off of me?
So, like I said, let me know if the audio's working.
Ow!
Oh, cool. Awesome. All right, guys. So I don't have any specific topics tonight. So whatever y'all are wanting to talk about or have any questions, Jim is in the vicinity if you have any questions for him. So Keith is here. He is ear hustling and doing stuff in the kitchen. So he's fixing dinner. And of course, Sana is here. She said, putting out positive vibes that the universe is kind to us tonight, right? Jennifer is here. Says, good evening. I think that brisket sale is only through the 24th. Some Kroger's didn't have any. I ended up getting mine at both Avon and downtown Indy. Yeah, he can only really smoke it on the weekend, and he didn't have time with what we were doing yesterday, so.
Hey, you forgot to tell me today. I would have went and got whatever it's smoker. But
probably wouldn't have wanted to smoke it today anyway.
Oh yeah, I'd had to use a heat gun.
Sana's saying hi to Jennifer. Okay. Sana said, I know that the public sale is going for standing rib roast. I had to ask the butcher because they couldn't keep up with putting some out as quickly as everyone was buying it up. It's a good problem to have, but still a problem. Susie is here, says hello all. Yay. I keep having to play around with the audio. Like, I have my tablet muted, so it's actually going through my phone right now. So I think I figured out the issue with that. I had to change where the sound was coming through. Bob is here, says hello everyone. Susie said loud and clear. Shauna is here, says hello, hello. Jennifer said so far so good. Hello. Let's see. Sana wants to know how you're doing. Here.
Me?
Yes, you.
Fine.
Fine. Man of many words. See, look, he is a live person. Jennifer asked if you want to smoke her a 75 pounds of brisket for me. You have to wait till we get the new smoker.
75 pounds. It's 4. At least.
Yeah, because the one we have right now, you've got to babysit it every 15 or 20 minutes. Shauna said hi. Yeah, she said California doesn't have those sales much. Yeah, I mean, I really want to know what the actual numbers are to how many, like, vegans versus carnivores are in California. My baby girl. Shauna said, I'm having a combo. Jackie, Hungry Heath lunch, air-fried hot dogs, and some pork belly air-fried and dusted in Hungry Heath pork and poultry rub. Sounds yummy. Just got smacked in the face with a tail. Sana wants to know what you think about this way of eating so far.
I want food.
You get food. You just want different food.
And my condiments.
Yeah, I think for him, probably the hardest is not having the condiments and the sauces and the soda and the snacking.
The soda hasn't been
But I did make some buffalo wing dip that was pretty good last night.
Expensive water, but
yeah, he for some reason won't drink our tap water, even though I think it's pretty good. It's all I drink anymore. Your tail isn't in my way. So, anybody want a cat? This one's a pain in the butt. She keeps running off Luna. Yeah, I don't need the screen at all. No thanks. Appreciate that. So what did everybody do for today? Since it's a Sunday, like I said, we had a pretty lazy day. I made 2 pounds of bacon and made us each 6 eggs for brunch, I guess it was. And then really haven't done anything today. Ugh, my nose keeps itching. Sana says, I can't imagine since he went cold turkey. I applaud him big time as I have 4 years keto into it. Yeah. That's why when I was starting, I told him like to start weaning off of stuff, because if you're getting a double or triple whammy of going from standard American diet to the triple B&E, that's a hit to the system. I'm surprised he hasn't had more issues than he has. Because I know I got migraines and just crappy feeling and runs to the toilet and all that fun stuff. So Rick one's here, says, hi folks, didn't get the notification, but YouTube has been acting up recently. Yeah, I keep getting mine late for some reason. I think Shelly says she actually just puts notifications on her phone so she can remember. Shauna said, I got to sleep in on my morning off, just been vegging. It seems to be that kind of day.
YouTube's turning into Facebook and censoring anybody for anything if they can.
Right, pretty much. So Joe's saying hi to everybody. Well, with me, right. I know, it's kind of crazy to think, because like I've had broccoli once in like the last 8 months. It's kind of crazy. Susie said, I made New York strip steaks, bacon, chicken wings, and sausage. I hope you enjoyed those wings for me, because I do miss those. Like I said, I made that buffalo wing dip last night for the burgers, and it was pretty good. I did it in the microwave, so I think next time I'll do it on the stove so I can blend it better, but it was still pretty good.
I bet if you do it on the stove, it'll stay.
Yeah, well, that, and I can mix it with the immersion blender as well, that way too, and I think that would help it.
I should have took or left
Me
the
too.
other burgers out of the fridge, and I could have made them tomorrow.
We could still take them out. Just gotta remember to put them. We can always have Rowan take them out when he gets home. Jennifer said, I've been a total slug today. Yeah, it seems to be a theme for today. Scott's here, says, hello, friends.
It didn't snow enough to do anything fun.
All right. It's like it's either not enough snow or too much snow. There's no like happy little medium, because we have fields that surround our house, and we've got a bunch of 4-wheelers, so you can go do dumb stuff in the fields.
Well, it snowed now.
Let's see. I second that. Sana says, yummy, I can't wait to have chicken wings again. I mean, if that's the one thing he's adding, she said, my son is doing triple B&E with the booze exception. I don't know.
I want beer.
If I was going to do it with the booze exception, I would do the booze exception like once a week. I wouldn't be doing that daily. Because you're never going to get into ketosis that way, so you're not going to have the benefits. And we did check his ketones the other day, so he is burning ketones. So Well, you're not going to lose 10 pounds a week. You guys need to talk some sense in him. He didn't listen to me. He's like, I only lost 2 pounds. I'm like, most people would kill for 2 pounds. I lost 1.2 and he lost 1.6. And I only lost 0.2 last week. Shauna says, I went to crafting day yesterday and the host changed the menu to a taco salad so I could eat with them. She made me extra meat. I felt special. That's kind of cool.
I thought about making taco stuff, but we only had 6 things.
And you could have made it for you. I'm a little more flexible in eating the same thing every day. He's not. So he's like, what do we have? And I'm like, I don't know, nothing. I don't really want anything. So I don't want to make anything. What? I can have hot dogs every day. Just like the last round of Triple B&E, I had mostly steaks, bacon, and eggs. That's what I had 75% of the time. Susie said the wings are good. I don't eat them often. No sauce, just smoked salt. Yeah, I've almost gotten to the point where there's 2 places I don't mind having them, but I'd rather just have them at home. I tried making my last round with Pork and Goods ranch seasoning, but I don't think I put enough on them. Sana said this is her first round of Triple B&E too. Joe says, made my usual Sunday brunch today. Keto Chow waffles, ate them with bacon, goat cheese, and some leftover seafood. I am still too full to eat again. I was hungry earlier and I still haven't eaten. I really need to. Yeah. Have you ever had goat cheese?
No.
Would you try it?
Probably not.
That's what I live with. He used to yell at me for never trying anything, and now he won't try anything. Sana said, there's nothing wrong with wings at all. I'm doing Triple B&E, so no wings for me right now. The warden's here, says evening all. Hungry Heath said, hey yo, finally sitting down to enjoy this overnight brisket. Away from keyboard, be right back. That is a perfectly valid reason to be away. It's even better if you bring it here. Let's see. Yeah, Susie said, I haven't done Triple B&E before, but I've heard good things. You either love it or you hate it. I always suggest people, like, if they're thinking about doing it, like, set a goal for like a week, see how you do, and then extend it from there. Because if you set a goal for 30 or 90 days and then you fall off in 2 weeks, then you're going to be upset with yourself. And if you do it for a week and then you go longer, probably be happier. Incoming cat. If I can read it. Pat has lost 10 pounds with his own version. I mean, if it's working for him, you can't complain. Sana wants to know, do you have an opinion yet if you would do a round 2 of Triple B in the future?
I don't know yet.
If you get off all of your medications and then go back to standard American and then have to get back on your medications, would you wean down on some of the carbs to try to stay off of the meds?
No idea.
Guys. That's like $15 a month you can spend towards bacon. Shauna wants to know if you've thought about how you will eat after the Triple B&E challenge is over.
Horrible.
Like 2 weeks ago when I asked him, he's like, I'm going to White Castle. I'm like, ugh.
It's going to be a better selecting process than that.
Shauna says, you didn't overnight B&E brisket. Truth. Anybody that's going on the low carb cruise, if you're going early, you can go to the meetup in Texas over at Hungry Heath's, and they're providing all kinds of food and yummy stuff. Susie says, love goat cheese. There's a hard goat cheese by Cypress Grove called Midnight Moon. It's awesome. Special treat cheese. See, I've always been avoidant of trying it because every time I've ever tried lamb and stuff, I don't like it. I'm giving it one more try. I gotta either buy some of my own and try to make it, which I'm hesitant about, or find a restaurant or somewhere that can do it well, because I've tried it on the cruise and I tried it when I was younger and neither time I liked it. So somebody said you're pretty. Just tearing up my rug or my cord. I'm not sure if you can see the camera move. It's the cat. Said it's holding it in your room. Hey, if you put enough salt on it, it might still be okay. Jennifer said, I started Triple Beanie early April, and with the exception of the special event and holidays, when I back off to keto, I just rolled with Triple Beanie. It's where I'm most pain-free. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, probably 75% of the time, I'll end up sticking more towards that stuff because I've gotten it down to where all I want is meat, dairy, avocado, pickles, tomatoes, sweet peppers, onions, and jalapenos. That's pretty much all I want. And the funny thing is most of that is fruits, and it's none of the fruity fruits. And then, of course, Keto Chow. Warden said, Hunger, he says, goat cheese is the Cadillac of cheeses. Shauna says, yeah, but I drive a Toyota RAV4. I'm good with cheddar cheese. I think cheddar is probably one of my favorites. And Shelly said that they're cheaper than an egg. I know egg prices are crazy. Although I had somebody on my Facebook page was like, you got 18 dozen eggs. That's too much money and too expensive of a diet. I'm like, really? It's cheaper. Because I think we're spending $50 to $100 right now on groceries versus 200 or more. And the soda is really a big factor on that too. Even though he's buying a bunch of boozy water. But he's gotten to the point where he's likes the Fiji and the core.
And Death Water.
And Death Water, which the Death Water is the most expensive.
No, it's not. Fiji's more.
I thought
Fiji's more. It was $22 for that case I bought yesterday.
You need to get more core then.
I gotta direct to Greenwood for that.
Shauna says, I don't mind spending good money on eggs, especially for my local farm. Yeah, I need to contact my egg lady because I haven't heard from her. She was supposed to contact me about getting eggs again. When we had our last snap freeze, all the eggs they laid that night cracked. So they lost all of them. Right? Susie said, give me some coastal white cheddar. I've never had that, but I do like white cheddar. Everybody else in this house thinks white cheese is weird unless it's Parmesan or mozzarella. What do you pay your egg lady for a dozen eggs? I pay mine, I think it's $4 a dozen. So it's a little more than store brand, but not by much right now. Right, Solana said, well, everything's better with cheddar. Just about to think she wants fed. That's why she's terrorizing. Sean says, yes, I love white cheddar too. The Warden says, yeah, I talked about that in Hungry He's MS Journey. People don't factor in all the snacks and multiple meals they have to eat on SAD. Right. I mean, I was spending easy when I was living out of the vending machines at work, anywhere from $15 to $20 a day. It was crazy. And I mean, that was crap food. It was honey buns and muffins. So yeah, ours had a sign up too. Luckily I'd gotten 2 before, and then I got 2 more, but she said Costco is limiting the number of egg packs you can get to 2 at a time. Let's see. Sana says it's awesome to be pain-free. I'll be doing a video when I get done with 30 days to mention all the pain-free experiences I've had this 30 days. It's been amazing. I agree. Before my first round of triple B&E, I had awful plantar fasciitis. I was probably complaining every day about my feet hurting. I had to wear shoes in our house, and if I stood for more than 5 minutes, I felt like crying because my feet hurt so bad. I didn't have it diagnosed, but it felt like my heels were walking on rocks. So Jennifer says, I'd gladly pay $4 a dozen. Yeah, there's another lady I could probably get a hold of to get more eggs. I think she's around the same price, but I mean, I can give you their numbers and stuff on Facebook if you want. Loretta's here, says hello. Hello. He's not in videos much, but this is Jim. He's half butt answering some questions. If you have any questions for him. She purrs like she's cute, but she's a little terror. Although she didn't try to steal our food earlier, so progress. Sean says, I paid $15 for a flat of large farm fresh eggs that can't math right now. I understand. I hate math. Okay. Just remind me if I forget, because my brain's been everywhere. Susie said, so glad you're having less pain. My fibro pain is much better. I'm able to do a lot more exercise now, and my back and hips don't hurt like they used to. Yeah, I know. I keep talking like I need to get back in the gym. I do miss it, but at the same time, I know when I get back into the gym, my weight's going to slow down again because I'm going to be putting on muscle while burning fat, which is a good thing. But being on that challenge, the weigh-in challenge right now, I don't want to stall that out because I already don't think I'm going to hit that weight goal. So 2.5 dozen. So, but yeah, also the gym I go to is probably 20-25 minutes away from me, so I either have to go straight after work. It's just too difficult. I don't even think they're open anymore. They used to be it's Planet Fitness, so they used to be open 24 hours. So I can't even go before, but I already get up at 4:30, so getting up at 3:30 is less fun than getting up at 4:30. At least we have one cat that doesn't really shed. Although I said that yesterday, and then she left fur on somebody.
I think it was from his cat.
Sue said, I hear you, Jackie. I put on muscle mass on carnivore since doing weight training, and it does show on the scale, but worth it. Yeah, I haven't looked at my numbers. My scale does do the muscle and bone and all that good stuff. I haven't actually looked at those lately to see if my muscle's gone up, and I know my water has. Thank you, Jennifer. She said, hit that thumbs up. And Sana says, so happy for you. That's wonderful. His cat ran out my cat, and I don't like it. Luna likes to hide under the bed right now. She comes out every once in a while.
She just doesn't want to play. Sassy wants to play.
Yeah, Sassy constantly wants to play and chase because she's not quite a year old yet. So she's constantly wanting to run and jump and do all the things. And Luna has never been big on playing. Like, she would play with Salem for like 5 minutes and then she'd be done. She'd smack him and walk off. And Sassy just keeps at it. So Loretta said, sorry I'm late, but better late than never, I say. 100%. At least this time I wasn't late. It's actually in the chat a little early. And Susan said, hi, Loretta. Sana said, Walmart is the cheapest here in South Florida, 60 count box for 19-ish. I don't remember. Costco's got a 60 count when they have them, but I can't remember what the price was. I think it was somewhere between 17 and 22, but I don't remember exactly. But half the time they don't have them, and they only have the farm fresh and the organic egg, which is fine, but most of them say vegetarian fed, which chickens aren't vegetarians. They are tiny little raptors, so I don't know why they always say that like it's a good thing that they're feeding chickens the wrong diet, but it is what it is, I guess. So. Let's see. So he already ate, so I've got to plan for something for me to eat. So we're gonna do. I got one leftover burger. I think I'm gonna save that for tomorrow's lunch, and then maybe make a little extra wing sauce to go on that. And I might make some tonight so I can have. I might dip my hot dogs on it just because it sounds good. Maybe the vegans. Shauna said, do they maybe feed vegetarians to the chickens? Not all vegetarians are bad, but most of the vegans are crazy. Yeah, Jennifer, I saw your post earlier. She said, I've got critters in my wall, sound like maybe squirrels. They have a lot of nerve invading a house of the carnivore, right? But they're very lean. You gotta add a lot of butter. Maybe soak them in some bacon grease. Okay, Loretta says, all right, maybe just a little TMI. However, I have a question. So I thought you would get the diarrhea for the first week or two when you first start triple B&E. It depends on the person. He hasn't really had it at all, right? No diarrhea. I have it all the time. But I have a lot more fat, salt, and electrolytes in my diet, and he doesn't add any fat that I don't already put on his plate. And if there's too much, he'll pour it off. So he's got the opposite problem. Whereas if he would add, like I said, some electrolytes and extra salt, which he does salt with stuff, but the magnesium and stuff helps move things along. And then adding like a tablespoon of butter to his eggs or something might help. But like I said, just depends on the person. Even my 90-day round, I had it the entire time. I thought it might have been the collagen that I was using, so I was not going to use it this first month, but it's back again. It's not full on water all the time, but it definitely is towards that and a little less. So varies from day to day. Sue says, oh my, we've had issues with with that too. We have had a flying squirrel in the kitchen a couple years ago. That's kind of cool. I mean, that would suck to have it in your house, but flying squirrels are awesome. Yeah, she backs up to woods, and we are surrounded by fields. So we have field mice that like to come and burrow into our garage, and we've got buckets out. And I think the last time you went and checked it, there was like 30 mice in there.
22.
22. So it's a problem. They're not in the house, luckily, but they're still a pain. It's like you can't put anything out in the garage or they will eat it. They've eaten through his four-wheeler helmets and anything of his. Like they zone in on his stuff. Like I had my helmet out there, didn't touch it. They had Rowan's out there, didn't touch it. So apparently something of his they're just zoned into. Larissa, however, for the last couple of days, I've had to stay close to home because of their diarrhea. What's going on? If you absolutely need it to cut back, if you're taking electrolytes, maybe cut those back a little bit. And if you're adding a bunch of extra fat, cut that back down until it slows down. And then you can start slowly adding it back in and see where your body's copacetic. Yeah, Jennifer said, Susie, they're cute. Sana said, I'm on day 22 and only the first 2 days I went through it, but I also don't have a gallbladder, so I'm sure that contributed too, as I've been meat heavy and keto prior, but it's been smooth sailing now. Jennifer said, my son is putting up with keto flu now. I hooked him up with some electrolytes. Yeah, it's never fun. Mine usually lasted at least a week. Loretta says, I'd like to come to the meetup in May. Just wondering if anyone lives in Michigan and would like to carpool. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but once we start throwing up flyers and stuff, which hopefully here and by the end of the week we can start doing that. There might be somebody that pops up for that. Shelly says, okay, y'all, got to set up for a video releasing on Tuesday. Going to be exciting. Great live, Jackie. Thank you, Shelly. I know I'm not as quite as entertaining as some of our fellow YouTubers, but try. Heath said, wait a minute, aren't you supposed to be showing us how to make coffee tonight? I mean, I could, but my coffee's boring. I do have bourbon coffee, though, that's pretty good. Because he picked out a bourbon and a blueberry muffin. Rocky Mountain Girls here says, hey, y'all. Loretta, there's a gal in Lafayette who may be coming. Yeah, Sana said you could also try digestive enzyme. Dr. Berry suggests it. Yeah, and it also just depends on how strict you want to be with it. Because, I mean, you can also, add in charcoal and all that stuff to kind of help clog things up. But that's playing with fire on its own, too. Hey, I understand. I was late to my own live Wednesday. Let's see. Rocky Mountain Girl said Shauna's better than yesterday. Remember, Heath said, all right, tonight was fun, but we got to go record another video. Talk to y'all later. Have fun. So we got about another 25 minutes, and then I'm going to get food. Shauna's asking, well, sadly, it doesn't take much to better than you were yesterday. How's Cameron? what's going? Is it something you can share, or you have family issues going on, Rocky Mountain? Sometimes I have a hard time keeping track of everybody, but I'm not friends with everybody on Facebook too. So Sana said to have a wonderful evening to Heath. Rocky Mountain Girl said making jokes. Shauna said, Jackie, Rocky Mountain Girl is a longtime friend of mine, Cindy. Well, hello, Cindy. I will try to remember that that is your name. I'm awful with names. Let's see. It's also said to eat more fat so the body can adjust more easily. Yeah, like I said, as far as the bathroom stuff goes, it's the easiest thing to do is cut back as much of the fat as you can, and then slowly add it back in and see where the pyrotechnics start back up. Or if you've got the opposite problem, add electrolytes, salt, and fat. Right. So Susie said salt, fat, and water will contribute to the digestive stuff. Also magnesium if you take too much. Shauna said teenagers. Yeah, I got those. One I want to string up by his toes, the other one I want to smack him with a pillow. Family stuff. Well, I hope all the family stuff gets better. It's never fun going through family drama. Yeah, we got it at Costco or Sam's Club. The bourbon coffee.
One of them.
So, I mean, I can go grab it real quick if you want to see it. Yeah. Most of my teenager drama is kids not wanting to go to school and playing hooky, and then the other one's just 17 and over it. Owie. So, turn it off for a second. So, bourbon infused, and then it's Pablo's Pride. But it smells really good. You can see me again. Sassy always looks half drunk or something because she keeps her secondary eyelids half closed all the time. Susie said, that looks delicious. Yum. Jennifer said, to the tune of Congo. My kids are all grown up. My kids are all grown up. Yes, and it does taste like there's bourbon in it. Because he had it pretty much black the other day. It was pretty good. Yes, they actually do put alcohol in them, but it's burned off basically, so there's no actual, like a kid could drink it. It's not going to hurt them. Okay, it says our organic, or if I can speak, bourbon infused coffee, coffee soaked in fine Kentucky bourbon, then roasted to remove the alcohol, so only the bourbon flavor remains. It says our organic specialty grade coffee is soaked in the fine Kentucky bourbon before it's roasted until the beans absorb every drop. It is then dried and roasted in small batches to a perfect medium level roast. The natural sugars in the beans and the bourbon are in perfect harmony when it's roasted just right. The results is an intense and full-bodied coffee with bourbon flavor notes of caramel, honey, and butterscotch. The marriage of these natural flavors is a fine balance of sweet and spice, fruitiness, and nuttiness, partially derived from the bourbon's maturation in seasoned oak casks. The coffee's natural cocoa toned finish is very smooth and velvet-like with a long-lasting residual sweetness that calls for another sip. So there you go. He's got his coffee talk. Like I said, it was either Costco or Sam's Club. I think we got it at our second store, so I think it was Sam's Club. Donna said, interesting. And wow, yum. Yeah. Laura said, I want to see it. So again, Pablo's Pride. I think it's like a $20 coffee, and then it's a pretty decent sized bag. Because here's my hand, and I have small hands. I might actually make coffee to take to work tomorrow. And Sana said, oh wow, that description sounds amazing. I agree, which is kind of why we got it. Jennifer said, bourbon tastes like a campfire to me. That is probably 75% of our house is bourbon and whiskey. Although maybe a little less now since we got a bunch of flavored things. Loretta said, Jennifer, you're funny. Tastes like a campfire. I'm weird. I actually don't like the smell of campfires. And I never liked roasting stuff in the campfire. Like my hot dogs, I'm happiest popping them in the microwave. He thinks I'm weird for that. Rocky Mountain Girl said, now I want a fire. I know, right? With Tooth Crazy Keto doing that s'mores kind of thing. I'm like, But I was happy at doing a s'more in a microwave too, so. No, Shauna says, I like my hot dogs burnt. My mom's got one of her best friends loves burnt anything, burnt toast, burnt bacon, burnt hot dogs. I'm like, I can't. And we're talking burnt. There's only been one thing he's eaten burnt, and he was like, even that's a little rough for me. But never been a big fan. Sometimes burnt cheese is probably about the only thing I don't mind burnt. Jennifer said, everything tastes better over a fire. Shauna says, I had to skip the cookie tube. And Sana asked if you were doing the full 90 days with me. That is the plan. He hasn't said I'm quitting yet, so. If I don't cook enough, he might say I'm quitting. Rocky Mountain Girl said, Jennifer, yes. Susie said, Joe and his blowtorch, so funny. All right, he cracks me up. Yeah, Shawnee said, hot dogs, yes, bacon crispy, but not burnt. See, I like mine crispy. He likes his a little less crispy. So when he makes it, it's a little less crispy, and when I make it, it's a little more crispy. Sana said, I held my breath when he used that on video. Joe and Rachel did a video, and they had keto marshmallows, and he brought up a blowtorch to do it on screen. And Rachel was like, oh no. Rocky Mountain said, marshmallow slightly burnt, but nothing else. See, I want that perfect brown. like set it on fire and then blow it out and done. Shauna says, and when I did eat marshmallows, burnt also, but I don't really like marshmallows. Jennifer said, sounds like your friend has pica. Man, I thought Salem had pica for a while. That cat was chewing on everything. Loretta said, that sounds absolutely delicious. Agreed. Shauna said, oh, so I'm returning the cam I got, gonna get a new one. However, my good friend has an amazing kitchen and said I can use her kitchen anytime to record cooking videos. That's cheating, Missy. But hey, whatever works. Like I said, I'm recording everything and doing all the editing and everything on my phone. And if you're doing actual techie stuff with cameras and all that stuff, Chris Bayer always says, hey, hit me up if you have any questions, and he's always glad to help. Loretta says, I don't like the smell of campfires either. I thought I was the only weird one. Nope. Even like we have an electrical fireplace in our house, and I'm so happy about that because actual wood fires I hate. I don't know why. I love the smell of wood, certain woods, but I don't like fires. Shauna says, I promise you don't want my client in my videos. You never know. Can make for entertainment. Block him his chair out since he's not there right now. Jennifer said, Hubs used to eat his whites off his runny eggs first and then pop the whole yolk in his mouth for an explosion of creamy goodness. I tried it today. I wore it well. See, mine never lasts that long. I always want to dip the white into the yolk to make it taste better. I don't like the whites. I always make a point where if I know I'm not going to finish my eggs, I'll eat the yolks out and leave the whites and throw those away because I don't care about the whites. I want the fatty, yummy, gooey yolk. It's one thing I don't agree with Rachel. She likes her eggs well done, and I'm like, no. So, random other topic because I've got baskets sitting there that keep reminding me, but got some more purging done on the house. The back of my Jeep is completely filled up with stuff I need to take to Goodwill now. And I got everything posted on Facebook Marketplace that we're going to try to sell, and one more thing done. Rocky Mountain Girl said, hubby only eats scrambled eggs. I tried to eat scrambled eggs the other day, and I couldn't do it. And I'm like, I've never had an issue eating scrambled eggs, but I don't know why. I just couldn't eat them. I gave them to him, and he ate them. Shauna says, I'm not happy with egg yolks right now after the one falling and sliding between the counter and stove. Yeah, that would suck. That's definitely not a fun thing. We actually just pulled our stove out 3 or 4 weeks ago and cleaned underneath it. It's kind of crazy how much crap and crud gets between those. And because, like we mentioned this before, like we don't have any straight angles in our house. Like we have to have our stove cocked to be able to open the cabinet. So there's a pretty good sized gap between the counter and the stove instead of having it flush. It sucks because everything falls down there. I found pens and markers and all kinds of stuff. I'm surprised there wasn't scissors. Jennifer said, I had to learn to like the whites. I used to mash them with baby food to avoid eating any plain whites. I mean, hey, whatever it takes. That's like, I know the whites are good protein, but still not my favorite. All right, guys, we got about 10 minutes. Ugh. Excited for my hot dogs. Susie said, I like my eggs just barely cooked and am starting to like them scrambled with lots of butter. I'm not a fan of the egg whites either. Yeah, I mean, I haven't tried it yet, but I'll put raw eggs in my coffee, so I could probably toss out the white, toss an egg yolk on the skillet for like a second, flip it over a second, and then pop it on my plate and eat it. I haven't actually done that, but I've thought about it a couple of times. I'd look into that. Jennifer said that they make strips to bridge that gap between the stove and the counter. How bad does it stick out though? Because we've got very light marbled counters, and it's not an actual marble. It's like, I don't remember what it is, but not very durable. Shauna says, I like a scramble fry, hot butter or bacon, grease, cracked in eggs, and scrambled before they cook separately. Rocky Mountain Girl said, raw eggs and coffee? I've never heard of that. Yes, so if you have never tried it, when I make my coffees, I do about a tablespoon of butter, a raw egg. Sometimes I'll put unflavored collagen and some electrolytes and iodine. Like, I make a powerhouse coffee, and the butter and the egg makes it like you have creamer in your coffee. It's so good. Like, even if I don't put the collagen in there, it's like a creamy coffee that you put like heavy whipping cream or milk or something in. It doesn't make it taste eggy or anything like that. If you've never tried it, you're not going to lose anything but a 30-cent egg and 30 cents of coffee. So you can always try it if you don't like it. But I use an immersion blender, but at least have a frother to mix it, or use a fork and do it really, really good. Shauna said, yes, Cindy sent me a pic of one of those crack cover strips. Yeah, I'll have to look those up. Or if Shauna, if you can send me one. Sana says, I have yet to try frothing egg in coffee too. I don't want to feel like I wasted an egg or coffee. Like I said, the most you're gonna lose is like $1.50. It's he won't try that either, but he's very anti-butter. And if I told him there was an egg in the coffee, he would probably throw the coffee at me. So Susie said that sounds good. Shauna says it is. I only cook it with pepper, like a salt pepper. Yeah, and I know Gordon Ramsay says you're not supposed to put the salt and pepper on until after it's already cooked because it changes how the eggs cook, but I haven't attempted to do that. Shauna, just make 2, and that way if you do mess it up, you already have your other one right there. Susie said, I put electrolytes in my coffee too. Never tried adding an egg before, but that sounds interesting. And like I said, it doesn't really flavor it. It just makes it creamy and yummy. Loretta says, I can't eat scrambled eggs anymore for some reason, or the white. I cook them over easy and only suck out all the yolks. Happy day, right? It's like, I've gotten to the point lately, I'm dipping my bacon in egg yolk or mustard. Rocky Mountain Girl said, Shauna, same. Shauna says, I buy expensive coffee and eggs. Well, that's understandable, but I don't see you not liking it. Like I said, it doesn't really flavor it. How about if you try it and don't like it, I'll buy you a cup of coffee when I see you. or I'll buy you a specialty coffee on the cruise. Shauna said that eggs get rubbery when you scramble them with salt. See, when I scramble eggs, I do it in like a cup and then mix them all up and then dump them in the pan. My scrambled eggs never look like scrambled eggs. Good night, Rocky Mountain Girl. Shauna says, yep, they get rubbery. My grams taught me to salt after. If you wait like 5 more minutes, I'll feed you. But the Shauna, the cruise also has a bourbon coffee on board that's actually got bourbon in the coffee. If we get the drink packages again, I will be living on bourbon coffee because those were so good. I was drinking like 3 or 4 of those suckers a day back into the cruise. Shauna says it depends on my mood how I will scramble them, sometimes straight into the pan or I scramble in a cup other times. And Shauna says, now that I would try. Yeah, like I said, it's really good. It is not keto coffee, but it's dang good. I don't even remember what all was in the coffee, do you? But he really liked them too. But I was living off blue Hawaiians and bourbon coffees, and he was living off pina coladas and bourbon coffees. But well, he would have had more pina coladas, but half the ship couldn't make it right. Susie said, I don't pre-mix them, straight into the melted butter in the pan. Shauna says, I'm not worried about a few non-keto things on the cruise. These short little legs get around so much more on the ship, right? That's kind of how I feel. I'm going to stick mostly with meat and dairy, but I'm not going to over stress about it. And most of my cheats will be alcohol, probably. I might try like a couple desserts here and there, but I really wasn't impressed with Royal Caribbean's desserts. I didn't mind their cheesecake. I do know the brownie on Coco Cay was awful. I took like 1 or 2 bites and then gave it to the kids. It was so gross. It was like, this is not worth even eating and feeling like crap for. I tried I think, was it the creme brulee? Which one was the little melty one? That you break.
What do you the top, the custard? Creme brulee.
Okay, so I tried the creme brulee and I was like, it was okay, but nothing to write home about. Shauna said, if I'm adding other things to them, I pre-scramble. Shauna said, heck, last cruise, our local excursion tour guide made us her family's famous rum punch and certainly punched me. I've heard about those. I watch a lot of cruisers YouTube channels, and there was somebody that had done a trip on Roatan, and they did they made their own rum punch and gave it to everybody, so that's pretty cool. Now she's eating it. Little brat went up and stole our burger, and then she didn't eat it, and I cut it up this morning, and now she's over eating it. I'm like, really? Sana said, a few years ago, I tried to eat something sad, and it didn't taste the same from what I remember, so I haven't eaten anything non-keto since because I was disappointed. And see, with the holidays, the only thing I had off plan, I think there was 4 things. His mom's corn pudding, which is still really, really good, and will probably keep being a breaking for the holidays. And then I had some of my mom's baked beans, and then Killarney, which is a coffee cake And maybe that was it. Maybe it was only the 3. But I had more than I should have, but at least I stayed with the 3 items and didn't go completely hog wild. So Jennifer said, game changer video, making deviled cupcakes. Bake the whites and yolks separately. Food processor, separate the parts and add some ingredients from the cupcakes and ice with filling, no peeling eggs. I gotta perfect my deviled egg recipe because it's okay, but it's not where I want it. And he wasn't. He's like, they're okay with bacon. He liked them better with bacon. Mike Weta said, was able to keep keto on the cruise. MDR made a combinations. Drinking was just whiskey neat. Yeah, and I may end up just doing like whiskey and Diet Coke or something like that. But it was just our family, so I splurged here and there. I think the first meal in the Windjammer, stuff made it on my plate that, definitely wasn't keto. Let's see. Laura said, I've been wanting to try the 1 egg and a tablespoon of butter in my coffee. However, I've already discussed my bathroom problems and I don't think the extra butter would help that. Probably not. I mean, you can do it just the egg. Shauna said she kept naming off all these fruits and would say, but no sugar. Sue said, I had a Diet Dr. Pepper a couple weeks ago and it was so darn sweet. Couldn't believe it. My taste buds have really changed. Yeah, and I know a while ago I used to drink Zevias and stuff, but I hadn't had them in a while. And he tried them and he didn't like them. But I would prefer to have those versus anything else. But there's only a couple flavors I like anyway. As far as soda goes, Cherry Coke, Cherry Pepsi, and root beer were my go-tos. I don't like Dr. Pepper. I don't like Sprite, 7-Up, or any of those. I don't like Code Red or any. I'm very, very Cherry Coke, Cherry Pepsi, and root beer. And usually Barks root beer. Shauna said deviled eggs, certainly no thanks for me. See, I love deviled eggs, and he can sit there and eat a dozen by himself. Shauna said, love when the labels say that too about fruits, right? Jennifer said deviled eggs need Dijon mustard and a bit of sweetener. So I think the last batch of eggs didn't have enough. We thought it had too much, and then when I made them, they didn't have quite enough. Yeah, if you're going to try the Zevia, it's almost better just to go buy like a can or two, which I think Walmart sells them individually, and try it to see if you like it before you go buy a case of them. Sana said we weren't allowed soda as kids, water only, but as an adult, I'd love ginger ale. I can't handle the sugar-free ones. I never liked Coke when on sad, but I love the Coke Zero every once in a while. And that's pretty much what we have is Coke Zero. Coke Zero or Pepsi Zero. And my mom likes the diet, which I told her, because she's very prone to migraines like I am, and I told her that the aspartame in those is probably what's egging on her migraines, because that's all she drank, so she's been weaning off of that. Sana said, my kids love Zevia. If you have Sam's Club, you can get a variety box. Joe said, I like stevia, cream, root beer, but they are awfully sweet to me. Yeah, I can't remember if I tried the root beer. I know I had the regular. Shauna said, I had a mini Coke Zero Cherry. Delicious. And Sana said, I'll have to find the cherry. All right, guys. The cats are hungry. and I'm hungry, and I'm sure you guys have better things to do, like prepare for work or something. I don't know. But thank you for joining me tonight and tolerating the mostly silent one. But I will chat with you guys later, and I hope everybody has a good night. Bye, everybody.